Hello, I'm Rachel Veck, the founder of Educating Matters. So it's 2018, the start of a new year, and we're on the 11th day. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who made all sorts of resolutions relating to all parts of their life, and perhaps already they've broken them. If you're a parent, the likelihood is you perhaps in your mind made a few resolutions about being a better parent, whatever that means. So possibly spending more time with your children, getting a better work-life balance, shouting less, whatever it may be. Now, I think the foundation of being a really good parent is focusing on having a very strong, connected relationship with your child. And there are so many wonderful ways and ideas I could share with you in terms of how to do that. But I want to focus on just one area, and that's rules and boundaries. And the word rules may have quite negative connotations, both for parents and children. Perhaps you associate them with being very strict or being at school. But children need to be very clear on what the expectations are, so they have proper clarity and a consistent approach. Now, I don't recommend that you start writing loads of rules and boundaries for absolutely every area of their life. I would choose one area of difficulty, and that will vary from one family to another and very much depends on the age of your children. So it might be the use of screens, it might be homework, it might be bedtime, it might be mornings. If they're a teenager, it might be re-establishing the rules for going out when they need to be home, etc. Now, the first part of getting clarity on rules and boundaries is for you to sit down with your partner or whoever else is helping you care for your child. So if that's a grandparent, a childminder, a nanny, etc. And to sit down with them and say, right, what do we all agree is the area that we should be focusing on first? And what do we feel are the rules that need to be in place to tackle that area of difficulty, and so that our children are really clear about the expectations, and also to help ensure the kind of behaviour we want to happen really is. The second stage, once you've established what that area is to sit down with your child and say, right, I think we need to be a little bit clearer on what the bedtime rules are, or what the rules are for watching TV. And ask your child first what they think the rules are, and then what they think they should be. The key to this is really involving your child as much as possible, so the rules aren't given to them as like a fait accompli. And also, it's absolutely essential that they're written down. And if your child's old enough to write, get them to write it in their handwriting. If they're younger, you can also use visual illustrations. And the idea of writing it down is it's there as a reminder, it's clear, and also, ideally, it means a lot of less nagging, repeating, reminding, which children don't really enjoy. So if they're not following the rules, you can just refer to them, and if you need a number of copies around, to remind them. Also, when you're establishing rules, it's really, really essential that they're framed in the positive. So they should not be a whole list of don'ts. For example, if you want to explain, if you've got rules about playing with toys, for example, with a 3 or 4-year-old, and you don't want them to play with a ball in the house, you shouldn't be saying, don't play with a ball at home, in the house. Sorry, don't play with balls in the house. Rather to say, balls are for playing with outside. So everything you want them to do is framed in a positive way. Once you've written down those rules, they're also absolutely pointless if at the same time in that conversation you haven't agreed on the follow-through. So what's going to be the reward if you keep to these rules, and what's going to be the consequence if you don't? And that way, children are really, really clear on what the expectation is. And then the hardest part is for you to be consistent, to keep referring back to the rules and to follow through. And if you can manage to do this, some of those difficult, tricky areas that are causing tension at home, and the behaviours that they find difficult to do, will eventually, over time, with consistency, start to become more automatic, more of a habit, and more of routine, which means everybody at home will be happier. I hope you found this helpful. For further support and other ideas, please see educatingmatters.co.uk. Wishing you a peaceful and happy year with your families. Thank you.